Bullish bias and a sweep of sell side. Let's see if we take London lows as well. So we're currently looking for a shift higher in market structure. So I want to see price form some sort of bearish order block to be inversed and a short-term high. Alright, the watermelon electrolytes, let me see. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. I'll give it like a... I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not the best. Bullish SMT currently. Yeah, but it's like... It's a confluence. So we're seeing if we get a shift. Let's see if we get that shift. We do have a bearish order block on NQ. So invalidation high would be this one. Just the opposing high on the lower time frame. So if I price the shift above this high is fine. You just want it to take this high with a shift. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know why they've actually... That's so weird. USD red folder news at 3... Am I seeing this right? 3:10 AM. How does that make sense? I mean, it's already been released. It's not something we should be paying attention to anyway. But why was it released at 3:10 AM? It must have been because of government shutdown. Must have been something they had to release previously. Yeah, that's weird. And then Wednesday 2 PM, so PM session, FOMC meeting minutes. So tomorrow is a completely tradable day, and we do monitor price as if it's normal, so that's fine. Thursday is... Wow, what a strange fucking week. NFP's coming out on Thursday, not Friday. Non-farm employment. No, that's not NFP. It'd be non-farm payroll. So Thursday's a tradable day, and it's all released at 8:30, so it's fine. So we're trading and monitoring price every day this week. This is a strange week. News getting released at 3:10 AM, not 3 AM, not 3:30, but 3:10. It's quite strange. FOMC meeting minutes. We still monitor the AM session. That's not the official FOMC meeting. And then we got something that looks like NFP, but it's not. Non-farm employment change. So we're still going to be monitoring price on Thursday. And then Friday is just PMI at 9:45. So start of macro is fine. Yeah. No, I'm also confused why NFP is coming out mid to end of November, because NFP is the first week of the month, but this is also because of the fact that we have government shutdown. It's fine. So we're not going to treat Thursday as NFP, and we are still going to, because either way we trade Friday on NFP anyway. We're not going to avoid Wednesday, the day before NFP. We're still going to monitor Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, and we will see what price presents. We don't half position size, we monitor price normally. So there's no difference. big W's this week. Let's see. Let's see. No, I can't lie, this electrolytes is tasting a bit shit. Okay, bearish order block there. Price trades up into it. It's currently acting as a bearish confluence, obviously, but we're looking for that to be inversed. So we currently stand with a bullish bias, sweeper sell side, which is now London lows, and now we're looking for that shift. So let's look at the 5. The 5 minute bullish gap got inversed, and now it's took the lows, so the 5 is now neutral. And then we're just going to have to check to the left. So we traded this area for price. Just going to see if we've traded into any bullish imbalances like this one. On the lower time frame, to kind of help you with time saving, it's best that you leave the 5 minute fair value gaps marked, so you know when they get inversed. If they're quite far to the left, so you don't have to keep referencing across, it will make your life a little bit easier. So yeah, the 5 is bullish. And then on the 15 minute, it took the low, so the 15's neutral. And then we're also going to do the same thing again. So we're going to see what we've traded into here on the 15, which is a bullish gap. So the 15's still bullish, remains the same. Hourly time frame, this is not going to change. So we'll redo our higher time frame bias in 8 minutes. What is this tenor.com view Jewish jump happy gif? I can never view this stuff. Do you guys click these links? What is all of these gifs? Yeah, sorry brother, I'm not going to click that link. He's trying to hack us. Just seen being seen, mate. Yeah, I also did a blood test today, so before we talk about that, you can see that we have a bearish order block in for price and a short-term high on both assets. So if we actually shift market structure, if I just delete this minor buy side and put this towards this high, delete that. So we want to see a shift higher in both assets here above this short-term high. That'll be perfect. If I just look at the 5 minute, we inverse that 5 minute bullish gap, which puts the 5 to being bearish. And the next 5 minute bullish gap is this one. So it's currently bearish towards that next gap. So I just want to see if we've actually traded, which we just traded into it, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. 5 still bullish. We'll redo our bias completely in a couple minutes time. Yeah, so I did a blood test today, and I got all of the results that I need, apart from total testosterone and free testosterone, which comes tomorrow. So I'm just waiting for those to come through. I'm gonna, for those of you that know more about this topic, because I don't really know too much from what I only know as much as what ChatGPT is gonna tell me. So I'm gonna send this inside the Discord, and I want you guys to tell me, for those of you that know more, of what you think. I'll put it in the AM prep channel. There you go. Right, cool. So I just posted that in the AM prep channel, the Bloodwork results, but the testosterone and total free testosterone comes tomorrow. So I'll update you guys on what that comes back as. By the way, I did this test at 2:30 p.m. So to get the optimal testosterone result, everyone always says that you got to do it like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. But I did mine at, I did it at 2 p.m. You know, I was busy. I had to take care of a few things, and then I did it a bit later on. But that's what it's come back as, you know. This is all of the results. I don't really know what many of these things even mean. I don't take creatine, so my creatine levels are normal. The only thing that they did say, my HDL was very low. Like off the charts low. So I don't know if that's bad. That's the only thing they said. HDL. Let me try find it. Creatine causes hair loss. Nah. No, creatine doesn't cause hair loss. Creatine actually can make your skin better. So creatine comes with no disadvantages really. I can't find HDL. I can't remember where I found it. Oh, there it is. HDL cholesterol. HDL cholesterol 27, and it's meant to be over 40. I don't know. 27. Is that bad? More eggs. I've been having like 3 scrambled eggs every day for like the past 2 weeks. Right, let's look at the bias from 10 a.m. Alright, 4-hour time frame. We've got a bullish gap there. It's traded into it, but it previously got inversed, so can't take it as an imbalance. Still a neutral 4-hour. Well, the daily, actually, I just want to check this because I don't know if I remember this getting inversed. No, it's been respected, so the daily's now bullish. If we check the hourly time frame here, closure 521. Yeah, so we inversed it, and the draw on the hourly is the next low or bullish gap. So I just want to see if we've traded into a bullish gap, which we haven't. So we're bearish on the hourly until this area. So 411.25. So essentially this 15-minute imbalance, which is a new week opening gap, is still supporting a bullish bias on the 15. And then on the 5, if we look at the 5-minute here, you can see that we'd still be respecting this 5-minute bullish gap. And also this 5-minute new week opening gap. So it's bullish on the 5. So our bias, it still remains to be a bullish bias. So we're still looking for a shift in market structure and a bearish order block to be inversed. So potentially the white blood cell and the red blood cell count is lower because I smoke shisha and cigars and all that. That's probably why. Surely that's a true thing, isn't it? It kills out red blood cells. Must do. Because my white blood cell count must have been around 5 years ago or 4 years ago, very, very high. Because I was doing sports, but now the gym doesn't exactly give you high blood cell count. This neutral bias here. Sorry to kill the excitement, but we haven't even got our bias down yet. The 1 hour's inside of a bullish gap. Oh yes, you are actually correct, yes. The hourly is bullish from the new week open, yeah, that's correct. Okay, so that actually does change the dynamic here. So basically we're shifting above this short-term high and this high here on both assets. It's going to put a bearish order block, which either this one or this one is fine. This is not invalidation high, this is fine, because it's a bearish order block getting inverse. So right now we've not seen a shift in market structure, so there isn't anything just yet. But a failed shift always leads back towards liquidity, so we're just waiting to see whether we're going to get a shift higher in market structure or not, because right now the price has just traded up into an unfilled 5 and a bearish order block. Well, here we go. Just avoid the high fat cheeses and cream high fat. The butter include getting both bad LDL and good LDL. Yeah, apparently my LDL, or whatever you call it, is good, but my HDL is concerningly low. So I'll just take a load of omega-3s and then I'll have like 7 eggs tomorrow. Should be all good though. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the natural test is tomorrow. I didn't really care about the rest of it, but it was good to see everything's like working okay. Um, we have seen model has a 90% win rate in November. Like olive oil, avocado, nuts, fatty fish. Try lower the saturated fats and high fat meat. Right. Yeah, maybe I just need to fucking eat more. Maybe I'm just too fucking skinny. That's what it is. It's just come back and said you need to bulk. That's what the test has come back as. It's just simple, straight. You need to bulk up. It's nothing to do with the HDL, you know. 10+ eggs a day. Okay, I'll do it. I'll walk into the cafe tomorrow and give me 10 eggs. 12 eggs a day. I might just start drinking the eggs, you know, just put them into a NutriBullet and just drink them. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd probably fucking throw up. At Milo Trelaw, what balance is indicated for trading with a risk to reward 5,000 to 10,000? Well, that's just... What? Why can't you just put that as a normal fraction? Knock off the zeros, and that puts you 5 out of 10. 1 out of... Is that a 0.5 risk to reward? I don't know. What question is that? Have I lost it in the head? Of someone just asked me what risk to reward is 5,000 over 10,000? I must have gone retarded. It's just a 1 to 2. I can tell you guys are getting bored that we haven't taken a trade because you're asking me risk to rewards over 10,000. It's not looking good, bruv. Okay, so little accumulation period here for NQ. That's all I've got to say. And it's outside a macro. So we're waiting for the second AM. No positions in the first. What the fuck am I watching with my eyes? Don't worry, brother. It's okay. We're gonna look at the second AM, and for sure we shall find price to give us a model. Don't stress it. See you in the second macro, girls. Jams, brother, you need to hop on some tests, mate. Milo, you said you used to trade with supply and demand. I did it too. I left it because my limit orders kept getting missed by a tick and would always get stopped by a tick. What was your frustration with supply and demand? I'm just curious. Well, I didn't make any money. That was my frustration. I didn't make nothing. Not a dollar. I incurred a loss trading any other model since the point of when I found ICT and I was watching video after video. So that was my frustration. I made fucking nothing. I didn't make $1. So it wasn't me not getting filled on positions. I was happily getting entries and I was taking positions based off supply and demand and different models that I was trading at the time with a load of indicators all over my screen. But no money was being made, actually incurring a loss. So no, I do not advise even asking that question again. If you haven't already watched the 2022, I wouldn't even bother, because I've simplified it fully on my channel on YouTube, and the mentorship, which is half completed, is going to give you more benefit on YouTube. It's free to watch that over a space of 7 videos than watching the whole of the 2022 and just watching a 15-minute video that I've simplified myself. That will give you the basic knowledge, and then you can go and backtest. You asked this question yesterday, Noam, about the 2 to 3 minute. Well, you can look for entries on the 2 to 3 minute time frame, but I specifically look for it on the 1 minute. And I don't want to look at an entry on the 2 or the 3 minute time frame. That's just my personal preference, I guess. I've taken entries off the 2 and 3 minute time frame. We use the 5 minute as a point of bias, and the 15 as well, to see whether it's going against the trade. As far as an entry off the 2 or the 3 minute, 90 to 95% of the time is going to give you an entry on the 1 minute. So there's not much point looking on the 2 minute. It's just going to give you a worse fill. That's my brother Noam right there. Okay, so everyone's talking about eating a load of eggs. Well, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try it from tomorrow morning. How many should I eat each day? Who is the leader of this egg conversation? 6. See, I don't think you're the leader of the egg conversation here. I heard someone else, they said 12. 10. Okay, so I'll just take these numbers, I'll put them in ChatGPT, and I'll get a median average. 20, okay? I don't think they got 20 eggs. A box only comes with 12. Do you remember a few months ago when in New York when the price of one egg went up to $5? So if you was doing the 12 egg a day challenge, it would be $60 breakfast. Yeah, at one point it was like $5 an egg. Someone was selling it on the street because they went out of. Do you not remember that? Those of you in the US, you ran out of eggs. Yeah, $30 for a dozen. Yeah. It's funny, I remember in my broke days when I was in the UK, and people in the US always complained about their petrol and diesel prices being too high. But really, the UK has the worst prices ever. So no one in the US can be complaining about how the price of a gallon of petrol is through the roof. The UK has always suffered, and no one really talks about it. It's just normal. In the US, they complain too much. In the UK, for a petrol-powered car at one point, we're putting like £100 for a tank of petrol, which is like $140. I filled up the Rolls Royce when I was in Miami for $60. It felt like it was fucking free. It's like I had a Tesla. Now in the UK is fine. It was when I was starting off with ICT back in 2022. That's when the fuel prices. That's the last time I remember even looking at fuel prices, because it was above 200p per litre. When it went above 200, people was like panicking, because I was a delivery driver at the time. So for me, I was spending half of my wage delivering parcels for Amazon on fuel. So that's when I started, you know, throwing the parcels instead of getting out of the van. That's when I got sacked. But there's also another person in the US who's just started. See, there's actually a very clean model for longs here. Now, if you look on the 5 minute, if that is a 5 minute high, which it likely is, which you can see, you wouldn't want to be taking a long. But we are outside of macro, and that's taken a 5 minute high, so nothing as of now. Yeah, there's one person in the US at the moment. He is running cars off plastic. I don't know how good that is for the people breathing that in, but I mean, how broke have you got to be to run your car off plastic? You can't just go to the gas station and just get some fuel. On a losing month, do we just take losing trades all month, or some wins? Well, I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, you could have... There's... How would I even answer that question? It's like, you can have a winning trade, but you can have 3 losing trades. That means you'd be down on the month. I mean, you're either down or you're not. It depends. It depends. It's like saying, if I drive straight, will I end up... That's a dumb scenario. I'm not even going to say it. Yeah, we still got 2 weeks left of this month, guys, so we're going to see what positions that we take. And one position brings us to break even, so whether it occurs another loss or it puts us to break even, I couldn't care less. We've had a great month so far. We've taken the correct positions, and I'm currently up just shy of 1.3 million on the year. Now, I'm somewhat impressed, somewhat not. It has, you know, 2x from the previous year. I did 650-ish K in 2024. In 2023 I did 250,000, and in 2022 I did about 70k, 75k. So it has doubled, you know, year after year. And next year we're not doubling anymore. I'm sick of it. We're not doing 2x's. We're doing next year 3 to 4x. We're making 10 million. Okay, we're breaking milestones. We're breaking the board. We're changing the game. And so are you guys as well. Alright, yes guys, so looking at price at the moment, we're seeing a shift higher in market structure on NQ and a slight shift on ES. And we took minor sell side after accumulating, so we took this low. I just want to see how this fair value gap that absolutely closes up in our eyes there. So that's a failure to, essentially, we shifted market structure but failed to hold the shift. So now price is likely to draw back to the sell side and take liquidity. But we almost got a model there, just not quite. So let's monitor the rest of this macro. Alright, yes guys, so we're currently seeing a sweep of sell side, bullish bias, shift in market structure on NQ, and also a shift on ES. Okay, so we are taking a long off this for value gap. I'm going to take a long, and my stop placement is going to be at the protected low, so 60. So your 30-point position size, okay, you're going to half that, and we're going to look for a 2 to 1, which is referenced at 1.89. I'm going to look for this high here. So half size 15. See if we get an entry over NQ, preferably NQ. If NQ gets rather close, then I'll take the premature entry if ES taps the gap, because we're already at 66 points, so I don't want to go to 75. It'll be too much. So let's see. Invalidation is this high, so we don't want to see NQ or ES trade above this high for price. Can anyone hear Milo? Well, I would hope so. The mic is on, so you should be able to hear me just fine. Okay, on NQ, you can see that we've put in a first presented gap by a couple ticks at 476. As of now, it doesn't look like we are going to get an entry, but the actual 476 first presented gap, the issue with this puts the stop placement too big. So our only entry point, which is getting rather close to that high now anyway, is still at 468. See if we get an entry at that point. So this is the bearish order block that we're referencing here, okay? And price closed above, and this bearish order block's paired with the gap. We took the low, so it's a bullish breaker paired with this fairly gap, a shift in market structure on both assets, sweeper sell side with a bullish bias. And now we see if we get an entry or not, and if it takes the high, then it means this trade's invalid. So just from that there, makes the trade invalid, so it'd be no position for long. So it didn't give an entry. Simple. So I'll keep my mic muted until we get another opportunity. Alright, so obviously the second day of macro came to an end, and there was no positions in the first or the second. Now we got pretty close to taking a trade in the second day of macro, and price didn't trade back to the gap to give an entry, which is perfectly fine. So it's likely just going to trade towards our TP, and didn't actually give us an entry there. And then we'll look at the lunch macro to see if there is a position or an opportunity for us to take. So this was completely valid, it just didn't actually give us an entry. So yeah, the stop placement was slightly big from this gap. It's fine. It was 66 points. So you just use 30 handle stop and then half the position size to risk the same dollar amount on that position. Okay. But it didn't give us an entry, so we're waiting for the... Let me delete this. This is the point of buy side. So we're looking at 11.45. Alright, so the 5 minute right now is currently bullish, and if we look on the 15-minute time frame, you can see that we're currently bullish on the 15 from both the inverse and trading in the bullish gap. If we look on the hourly time frame, it's currently bearish. The daily is still going to be bullish, and the 4-hour time frame is still going to be neutral. Okay, so that's the results that we have as of now, is a bullish bias. So right now we've taken buy side and accumulated above buy side, so we'd like to see some sort of sweep of sell side, and we can look for longs following our bias, but we currently have taken buy side, okay? So we want to see everything line up first. Why is the daily bullish? Well, on top step, which I spoke with Solnut just a minute ago, top step is going to show there is no daily bullish gap, well, getting respected, or well, it is trading into, but it's not actually respected. So this candle on top step goes all the way down, but actually on trading view, which we look at and we take our positions based off trading view, we are trading out of the daily bullish gap, which is being respected. So that's why it's bullish on the daily. Alright, so monitoring the lunch macro, I mean, you guys can see it in front of your eyes. It doesn't take an absolute scientist to look at this price action to know that we've not seen a model. And, you know, looking at the chat as well, this is not a mother's meeting, okay? We're not here to discuss where you currently are sitting in the world. And, you know, we had a chat on eggs earlier, but we don't need to talk about how many eggs we're going to eat for the 2026. So, let's keep the chat about, you know, trading and ICT and improvement at all times, you know, majority of the times. I see it going pretty off topic about Indians, and I don't even know what you guys have been talking about. So let's chill out in the chat a little bit. I know it gets boring, but you gotta lock in, even in this type of price action. If you have a question that you want to ask, then feel free to ask it, and we can always go over things that you don't understand at this given time. Oh dear. Alright, we have this message, I'm being bullied. We have 4 gay flags right now. We need to ramp that up. We need to get, yeah, there we go, 7, 8, 9. Getting quite a few more flags in there. It's 17 gay flags now. I'll add 1 to the party, that's 18. 21 gay flags. 22. You guys are really ramping it up now. Do you usually stay on for all macros during the New York session? Well, for example, if I'm monitoring the first day macro or the second and I have a winning position and we close out in a profit, then that is us done for the rest of the day. So we wouldn't have to monitor the lunch or the second if we take a winning trade in the first. If we take a losing trade in the first, or 2 losing trades, for example, so if we take 1 losing trade in the first, 1 losing trade in the second, which is a rare occurrence, it only happens 1 or 2 times per year, about 2 times per year that we'd have 2 losing trades in a given day, okay? And that means we wouldn't monitor the third macro. So it's 2 losing trades stops you, 1 losing trade stops you in that macro, and you have the next macro, and 1 winning trade also stops you, so you don't take another position. So good question. What button do you press on your computer when you are marking out liquidity and make the horizontal line go exactly on the wick? Yeah, so if you click the across and do the horizontal ray, so this one's gonna, if you select here or here, it's gonna give you the, I just find it cleaner, and I used to use, you know, probably 5 years ago, the horizontal line, but horizontal ray is easier, and then just select where you want it to start from. I don't actually have a shortcut on my keyboard to doing horizontal ray. How long do we trade in December? We trade for around up until the 17th of December on average. I mean, last year I traded up until the 17th, and then it became untradeable because of bank holidays, news events, Christmas, holidays, all of these different things that they have going on at the same time. If we sweep old buy side and then get a model, would you take a long even though we're in a premium? Yes, so if you're in a premium, you can still take longs, okay? If you have a sweep of sell side, which is minus sell side, like now for example, but this is not really a very clean example. We've swept minus sell side, but there's no point to shift. We'd end up shifting and taking the equal highs, so it wouldn't be valid. But for example, being in a premium, you can still look for longs. If your bias like now sits as bullish, we'd have to update it, but there's been nothing for us to take. I'm still looking for a sweep of liquidity here. Then yes, you could actually take a long in a premium, and you can take shorts in a discount if it pairs with bias and a sweep of liquidity. Well, that's a strange thing I noticed there. Joe, why are you putting a gay flag on your own message? That's actually concerning, that. I just seen the gay flag, and I seen reacted by Joe himself. You put a gay flag on your own message. You've lost it, brother. No, you've completely lost it. He's testing the waters, he is. Even Jack knows it. Well, the best place to test it, Joe, would probably be Thailand. Now, I've not tested it, but that's definitely something that you could test. There's plenty of ladyboys waiting for you here. And plenty of different avenues. Start fishing. Well, I mean, we're coming towards the end of the macro, and all we've done through the lunch macro, how possibly could we take a position during this accumulation period? And we came very close to getting an entry, but do you see price trading back into a bullish fairly gap? No. So we shifted structure, we swept sell side, we had a bullish bias, gap on both, inverse bearish order block. We have the model, but price doesn't trade back into the bullish imbalance on either asset. We couldn't get a premature entry even if we wanted to. So it ran towards our TP, and that was it. It didn't give us a entry at all. Okay, that's how it's gone today. The first day of macro, you can see from 9:45 we traded lower following a bullish bias, and then there wasn't any actual model for longs. You see, this is outside a macro. It got invalidated by a 5-minute high. You would have got stopped out, and that's why it's invalid. And first day of macro, you can see there's nothing. Second day of macro doesn't give an entry. Lunch macro, I mean, this is like a Tesco barcode on a pack of crisps. So this really does cool off our lunch macro here. The guy's asking about end of year's evals. Buy the Black Friday deals and pass/fail them fast, as if they blow they will rebuild anyway. And when exactly is Black Friday? For those of you that are looking at doing that Black Friday stuff, I didn't even know Black Friday was still a thing. I remember they used to talk about that back when I was in school, you know. yeah, maybe prop firms, they're going to see that as a excuse to run some sort of discount on the prop firm side of things, help you guys get more evals under your belt. But don't overdo yourself, because so many of you guys, you've got enough evals already. If you're at the point where you're running 5 top step evals and you've got no funded accounts, if you've got over 5 funded accounts, so 5 50k funded accounts, then that's okay. You can add more evals on Black Friday or whenever you choose to do so, whether that's now or in 10 days. It doesn't make a difference, okay? You're only going to get a $25 discount. It means nothing. So, in regards to having no funded accounts, if some of you guys have no funded accounts and you're just stacking evals, you're really stressing yourself out for no reason. You only need to run 5 evals, that's it. Get them funded. Once they're funded, work towards a payout and then use that money, which will be 5k, towards the rest of the evals, and you have it all. There's no point trying to have it all, spend 5k of your own money on evals and set yourself into a stressful situation. I know 5k to many of you guys won't stress you out, but at the starting stages, from me personally, back in 2022, it did stress me out. So I started with 5 evals, and it's always the best route, because instead of using your money, you use the house's money, and 5 evals is always the best start. So don't start stacking too much until you've got 5 fundeds as a lead, and run the evals as in the background on TradeSync. I know TradeSync has been down today and I haven't been able to log in. It's fine, but we didn't take a position. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. So that does conclude our session for today. The chicken and rice has arrived, so I'm going to go get 2 boxes of chicken and rice in, and then head off and get ready for tomorrow. I'll take care of some business, because it's currently, obviously, when I finish trading in the lunch macro, it's midnight. So right now it's 15 minutes past midnight. So that's it. The gay Indian is out. You called yourself that. I didn't say that to you. You know. Okay. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow at the New York Open, Wednesday.